Hi everyone, it's Nick. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, in this video today, we are going to be talking about IKEA's secret luxury products for 2023. These are those amazing high-end IKEA products that are also affordable because they're from IKEA. And I'm gonna be talking about ones with gorgeous style that are really beautiful and also functional and you'd be excited to put in your home. Nothing boring and basic. We're not gonna talk about besto cabinets in this video today, although those are great too. We're gonna be talking about those really interesting ones that remind me a lot of designer items that you see at other retailers. I'll also say that because it's IKEA and you are getting a much more affordable price point, if there are any compromises that you're going to be making, which there's not a lot on this list, I'm gonna be honest, most of these products are just genuinely really awesome. I'll be mentioning what those compromises are throughout the video. So let's get going. Okay, but before we get to those IKEA luxury items, let me take a minute and thank today's sponsor, which is Ritual. Ritual is an online subscription service that sends you a monthly package of all of your daily health needs, including the expertly formulated daily multivitamin that I have been taking for over a year now. The way I look at a multivitamin is that even though I try to eat really healthy, and my personal goal right now is having one salad every single day, and not like a wimpy salad, by the way, like actually a good salad, but I still think that even though I do that consistently, there are still gonna be gaps in my nutrition, and so having a men's essential multivitamin from Ritual fills in those gaps for me so that I have the peace of mind and knowing that I'm always getting the nutrition that I need. It's sort of my insurance policy that gives me the peace of mind knowing that no matter where the day takes me, and sometimes it may even take me away from that daily salad, in the end, I'm covered. This new year, take the clear first step towards your health goals and make the switch to clean, traceable products with 30% off your first month of Ritual. Click the link in the description to get started with Ritual, and now let's get back to those secret IKEA items. Okay, so the first item on my list is going to be the Konstfull. The Konstfull, okay, so this is an amazing glass vase that you can find at IKEA. I've talked about this one before on the channel because I love it so much. The thing is with this one is that this is a designer collaboration with Ailsa Crawford, which is an amazing British designer. I believe she designed the Soho House in New York. Really amazing, fabulous designer. And she collaborated with IKEA on this unique collection. You wouldn't otherwise really know. Being able to get a sort of a designer item that is made by this beautiful, fantastic designer, but at an IKEA price point, to me is something that is really worth knowing about. My personal favorite is this green vase here. I'm gonna be quoting US prices just because that's what everybody kind of knows is US. And it's $17.99, so 18 bucks for a green vase. I also love, which is just really practical and makes a ton of sense. It's got these gorgeous sort of ridges inside of this vase, which is great for styling your flowers and your plants and things because you're able to sort of get them at the right angle rather than kind of put it in and you know how everything just kind of like squishes out to the side when you put things in a vase, especially like a wide mouth one like this. Really smart to have the little ridges because then you're able to style them in really unique ways, and I love that. So this one is my personal favorite, but they've got a whole collection called the Konstfull. Check it out. Gorgeous designer collab. I would love to see more of this from IKEA. I think this is really great. Okay, next up on my list of secret IKEA luxury products is the Applaryd. The Applaryd is a gorgeous love seat. It comes in a few different configurations. I believe there is a 3-seater. There is also going to be a sectional, like there's a few different configurations, but the love seat is also really, really cool. And this one, just to give you an idea, is $9.50. Now, this one reminds me a lot of the Outline sofa, which you can find at Finnish Design Shop. And right now, I mean, I think I'm gonna have to quote euros because they don't even really sell it in the United States, but this is a beautiful, amazing, fabulous sofa. It's about 3,300 euro, which is about 3,500 US. And the Applaryd is suspiciously similar to that one. I think this one they've been getting into a little bit of trouble on. IKEA does this occasionally, right? Like they kind of dupe a lot of designer stuff, but then do it at a much cheaper price point because they have the scale and yada yada. And they make some compromises here and there. They've been sued over things in the past because of that. They haven't been sued on this one though. And this one to me though is a great way to take a beautiful designer sofa, but bring it to a much more accessible price point so it's more accessible to more people. So, you know, you're comparing, let's just say a $3,500 US love seat versus a $950 one from IKEA. They look very, very similar. I can't say that I've sat in both. I've sat in the Applaryd and it is very comfortable. I love those really cool sort of thin metal legs. I think they're really neat, as well as you got these beautiful plush cushions on this Applaryd sofa. Definitely one to consider if you're in the market for something a little bit more minimal, very modern. This is a really cool one. Okay, now we're gonna talk about a floor lamp that I love that I think is very beautiful and looks a lot like something you would find at a much higher end retailer, and that is going to be the Nymane. This one is $55 for this black metal floor lamp that articulates. Now it comes in a few different varieties. They have a table lamp, for example, but I really love it in the floor lamp. I think it's really, really cool, very chic. I love that it is a beautiful task light, which you know I'm a big fan of because you can really sort of play with it to accomplish tasks like, say, reading on a couch or something like that. I think this is a beautiful designer find. Reminds me a lot of different designer floor lamps that I've seen from other places at much higher price points than $55, I'll be honest. So this is a really affordable floor lamp that is really similar to what you're gonna get from, I think, a designer shop. I'm also gonna give a shout out to the ÄPPLARYD, which is another beautiful task light as well, in terms of very, very similar function. This one is a little bit more of a fixed position as opposed to the previous one, but also really, really cool and definitely feels like a much higher end lamp than this one, which currently goes for $70 US. Great price point for a really beautiful designer lamp, like IKEA designer-ish, if you know what I mean. So very cool. Okay, another favorite of mine that I haven't mentioned in a while because I think it went in or out of stock depending on where you kind of are, like different IKEAs didn't have it, but the Ekenaset is really, really, really cool. This is a beautiful side chair. This one is $199, and this one here is suspiciously like the GE240, which is the cigar chair, which is beautiful, kind of a timeless mid-century modern design. Reminds me a lot of the Ekenaset, or I should say the Ekenaset reminds me a lot of that one because that one is an iconic piece of furniture and the Ekenaset is sort of IKEA's take on it. Very, very beautiful, very similar, sort of a timeless design in my personal opinion. You know, I've seen versions at CB2 that are quite similar. I've seen definitely ones at West Elm, but this is sort of IKEA's take on it. And honestly, this price point is fantastic. 199 bucks. You know, you'd be probably getting one that's an authentic piece. You could be looking at like 2,500 bucks plus if you're gonna get one, especially if you're going vintage and you're looking at First Dibs or any of the other places, you could be looking at thousands of dollars for a side chair like this. Great affordable option from IKEA, definitely feels very luxury, and a lot of people don't really know about it because again, I do think it's gone in and out of stock depending on your country or depending on your IKEA, but $200, amazing price point for this chair. Okay, next up on my designer picks is going to be the Ullerslev. This is a fantastic sheepskin throw. Vegans, hold on, I have an option for you in a second. This is a sheepskin throw. I've mentioned it before, I love it. I do think it's a really great pick from IKEA. They sell this one right now for $39.99. It comes in a few different colors, chocolate brown, as well as this beautiful creamy sort of tone, which I love is my sort of first pick. I had the previous version called the Wrens, which was quite similar to the Ullerslev. It's beautiful. I love the sort of creamy sheepskin. I think it's beautiful, but it also comes in a green as well, which is actually fairly new. I believe they just added that one fairly recently. So it comes in a couple of different shades and it's really, really beautiful and a great way to add warmth and coziness and texture to a space. There's lots and lots of hacks that you can do with this one. A lot of people get really creative. Some simple options is draping it over the side of a armchair, you know, something like that. You could put it on the side of a dining chair, on a dining bench, which you know I can't stand dining benches, but if you do like dining benches, it's a great way to sort of cozy up a dining bench. You can use it as a rug, like you could put it, say, right next to your bed, which will just add a nice little cozy texture there. So lots of really, really good uses for this. And again, this is genuine sheepskin. So I love when IKEA really doesn't sort of cheap out of the materials, which they tend to do, right? That's where IKEA usually is really good at getting that price point down. But with this one, they really isn't any compromises. They really went for the real sheepskin and I really love that for them. Now, of course, if you're vegan or you're just not comfortable using animal products in your home, that is totally fair. I also recommend the Gullviva, which is half the price. I think it's 20 bucks. And this one is made of sort of acrylic, I think polyester blend. Really cool, 20 bucks. Serves very similar function to the Ullerslev, but a great sort of vegan option for you as well. Similar uses, you can use it in all sorts of different ways in your home or hack it into lots of cool different ways. So definitely one to check out, or both of those depending on sort of your taste there. Okay, next up on my list is going to be the Lohals. This is a jute rug, and jute is a beautiful, timeless material. It's a little rough and scratchy depending on sort of what you're looking for, but if you want something that has a really sort of neutral, sort of beige sort of tone, if you're going for that sort of look in your space, you want something really neutral, you're not looking for a lot of pattern, then I would say that going for something like a jute rug is a really awesome option. Because you're using a natural material, that is usually always going to be my preference personally, in terms of adding something that feels a little bit higher end than say polyester or an acrylic or something like that. I just think that if you can get away with a natural material like wool or something, that's usually a really awesome option in a rug. And jute, although is again a little bit of a scratch scratchy, somewhat impractical material choice in some ways, it's still a beautiful option, and it still feels very sort of high-end because it is such that gives that natural warmth that you're gonna get from that material. So I do love that. And IKEA sells this one regular price for $180. As of the time I'm filming this, it's actually on sale because it is currently their winter sale. So act quickly if you're watching this when it first comes out. But this is a really beautiful rug, and even at $180 for this rug, I still think it's a really great find. Okay, now we have another 2 for 1 here. First of all, we have the Markfrost, and then we have the Molnart. So the Markfrost, this is really my pick, and then the other one, the Molnart, is sort of an add-on that you can do, and that is because you got this beautiful table lamp made of black marble. Like I said earlier, IKEA tends to compromise on the materials in order to get that price down, right? That's kind of their thing, right? They've got scale because they're IKEA, and they're like basically the largest or one of the largest retailers for furniture in the entire world. They have sort of a global presence and a global reach, so that's one way they get the price down. And the other reason they get the price down is because sometimes they usually, in order to hit a certain price point, they will oftentimes compromise a little bit on the materials. Sometimes it's not a compromise. Some materials, like jute I just mentioned, are naturally quite affordable materials, and IKEA uses them to great effect. Marble is not a cheap material, so I really love that in this one, IKEA, which normally never does marble for anything, went for this table lamp in a real genuine black marble base. I love that. I think it's really cool. I would love to see them do something with a little bit more of a shade, and I'd really love to expand this line, you know, incorporating black or even white marble into other lighting fixtures, but I think this one is really cool, and my hat's off to them for getting a genuine luxury material like black marble, but in a retailer like IKEA, so that they can get that price down to a more accessible level to most people that maybe want to put something like black marble into their space, but you know, just generally it's just always going to be sort of out of their price range. And for IKEA, they really did a great job, I think, of getting this to a price point that makes sense for most people. So if you're looking at just the Markfrost, you're looking at about $28. And then also for the Molnart, that's actually going to be the hand-blown glass light bulb that they also have displayed here, which you can get for $38 for the combination of the two of them. And I really love that as well. So it's kind of a bonus pick to add on to your Markfrost, but something to consider as well. High five to them for this one. Okay, my next pick is gonna be the Fjadrar. J's, I think, or Y's, I think. I don't know my Swedish. I'm a little rusty on my Swedish. Okay, so I love this pillow because this is a pillow insert. So IKEA does do sort of the 2-in-1s where they have them both at the same time, but they're also really good at doing sort of the inserts, and then you can buy the covers, which is great because that means you can swap out the covers as you sort of need to. So if you get sick of the cover, but you're not sick of the insert, because inserts don't really change, but you know, if it's not worn out or anything, you can swap out the covers, which I think is really great too. So this is the insert, and these are $8. Now, the thing is, I really like the Fjadrar because this is actual feather down, 100% feather down, which is great. Again, if you're vegan, look elsewhere. But for this one, this is a really great option because it is feather down and for $8. That's really important because I think when shopping for pillows, nothing for me says cheap pillows like some sort of, you know, when it's just polyester filled and you can squish it into a ball and then it bounces right on back. That for me always feels really cheap. It kind of reminds me of sort of something that fell off the back of a van and landed into a HomeSense, or it reminds me of outdoor stuff, right? Like I think outdoor pillows, you might make some compromises because, you know, it's gonna rain, you know, it's gotta weather the seasons a little bit better than your indoor stuff. I'll give some exceptions to the outdoor stuff, but when you're dealing with indoor, ooh, those pillows that just sort of bounce right back and don't have like squishability and you can't shape them in any way, those ones are usually a miss for me. So I think that if you're going to really invest in pillows and you want to invest in some really great pillows, I would say going for feather down is always going to be better than going for those sort of cheapy acrylic ones. There's really no reason, there's no real reason to get the cheap pillows. It's not like one of those situations where you're like, well, Nick, I really want the, you know, $3,000 dining table, but I can't afford it. I can only have a budget of $800. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fair. That totally makes sense. You're gonna have to make some compromises on materials. That's fine. But these pillows, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking $8 for these inserts. So you don't really have to compromise. It's just a luxury material and it's a luxury pillow. It's a beautiful pillow, but for an $8 price point. So I love that about IKEA. Now, there are also some really great pillow covers to add on the Fjadrar, which I think you should consider. First of all, there's my classic, which is the one I have recommended before, and I love so much, which is the Sanela. The Sanela is an awesome line of sort of velvet pillows and drapery panels, and they got a whole bunch of different things there. But for pillows, they're really, really cool, and they fit on the 20 by 20 Fjadrars, so you can add on this gorgeous, different colored velvet pillows. It comes in a bunch of different colors, and you can add that onto your Fjadrar and you're good to go. So the Sanela is a really, really great option. But a new one that I found that is another luxury pick that I think is amazing is called the Aina, and these ones are going for $9.99. And the thing is with these ones is these are 100% linen. I love that because linen is another natural material that is oftentimes a little bit maybe more expensive, because natural materials oftentimes are, but at $9.99 you're getting an amazing price point. $10 to add on to your $8 pillow. Now you've got an $18 pillow. There's loads of different ones on there. I would just really pay close attention though when it comes to IKEA on the fabric choices with those covers. Those are just my two picks that I wanted to mention here. There are lots of other ones that are out there. IKEA really come a long way on all their pillowcases, but the Fjadrar is the prime pick for me. And then you've got these different other cases that are just awesome and luxurious and super affordable too. Okay, next up on my secret luxury IKEA products list is going to be the Langfjall. This is a really cool office chair. I have had this office chair actually for a number of years. I have it in sort of that gray color, the darker gray. It also comes in this really cool sort of light creamy beigey color, which is really neat. You know, here's the thing with the office chairs, right? They are either incredibly ergonomic and comfortable and hideous looking, or they are really chic and sexy, but they're so uncomfortable that there's just no way that you're supposed to be sitting. Like your chiropractor is gonna scold you when you come back with some of these really chic, cool ones, because you know, you sometimes feel like you can't get both. And you know, some places, by the way, will even, and I know people do this, they'll use a dining chair for a office chair, which might work on an occasional basis, but I'm not sure it's necessarily recommended for long-term use. So for me, I would say it is really important to get a proper office chair, and the Langfjall is an actual office chair, and I really like that. Now, I would say this, having owned it for several years, it is probably closer on the chic and sexy side of the office chair paradigm than the ugly but comfortable side. I've had no problem sitting in it for long periods of time, but as you might expect from me, I chose one that I liked the look of a little bit more than necessarily one that was like really, really super ergonomic and poofy and felt like a marshmallow couch just trapped in an office chair's body, which is not the look that I was going for. So that's why I went with the Langfjall. Now, having said all that, it is chic. It is cool. I love the look of this office chair. I think it looks really beautiful. It's sort of got this gorgeous timeless design, but it's minimal. It comes in with arms and without. I had the ones with. Without arms, it is going for $239. With arms, it's going for $269. I think that is a very good price for a comfortable ish chic office chair. Overall, I think this is a kind of designer-esque pick. It doesn't really feel like it sort of looks like IKEA, and I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but they should, because Langfjall to me is the best office chair that IKEA sells. Okay, next up on my list for secret IKEA luxury products is going to be the Bumerang. This one is to me a no-brainer. I love this one. This is like a product that IKEA has had for absolute years, and I love them for it. I, many years ago, replaced all those plastic coat hangers that, you know, the ones that you get from the dry cleaning with like the have a good day and the happy face on it. You know, you get rid of those. Get rid of the metal ones. They're bad for your clothes. They're not good. You know, your closet should be a joy to go into every day to see what you're gonna wear, even though I end up just like picking the same Lululemon outfits I always do because I don't leave the house. But, you know, I like to go into the closet and feel like, oh, I like my wardrobe. This is fun to pick out what I'm gonna wear today. The hangers are a big part of that. And so upgrading that really small thing, I do think makes a really big difference in your daily rituals. And honestly, at $8.99 for an 8-pack, which is what they are, these are just really great, no compromises wood hangers, you know? If I were to go on Amazon or Wayfair or any of the other places, yes, I'm sure other places sell wood hangers, I would call them a luxury pick because, you know, I can't think of what else you're gonna make hangers out of that could be any better than this. Honestly, invest in real wood hangers. You'll thank me later. Get rid of the old plastic ones, get rid of those metal ones, upgrade to real wood ones, and honestly consider the Bumerang because they're really my first choice. Again, had them for years, loved them. $8.99 for an 8-pack, $1 a hanger-ish. I mean, come on guys, just take the plunge. Okay, and then next up, I have the Tillagd. I have had the Tillagd also for many, well, a couple of years, I guess, since probably maybe it came out in matte black. This is matte black silverware. It also comes in the brass. In my opinion, the brass is a little brassy. That doesn't have to make sense to you. It just does to me, and maybe it does to you. I don't like IKEA's brass sometimes. I like it on some things, but on their accessories, it's too yellowy. I don't know. There's something about it that just isn't for me. But the matte black is a really, really solid pick. And these ones are 80 bucks for a 20-piece set. So here's my thing, having owned them for many years, because people have asked me, like, what do you think of the Tillagd? Because you're considering moving all of your flatware to the Tillagd. In the matte black, I would say that it is a luxury pick because honestly, for an affordable price point of $80 for a 20-piece set, I think it's a beautiful, amazing value. In my opinion, I would say that it is kind of a painted finish, which means it does wear after a long period of time. I've had these, as I said, probably a good 2 years now, and around the little tiny baby spoons, which I love, I would say they're starting to sort of show a little bit of their wear, and you are starting to see some of the black come off. For that, I would say there is a little bit of a compromise in terms of the longevity. However, if you wanted to get an upgrade, I did also want gold flatware, and again, didn't like the IKEA ones, so I invested in Fable. Fable Home, great, amazing company, love Fable so much, and I have the Fable flatware from them. In comparison, to show you the difference, I would say the Fable flatware is a lot more likely to last you for years and years and years. This is like restaurant quality sort of flatware. This is designed to be worn, used many, many times over and over and over again. So it's designed never to fade or wear out or anything like that. But the Fable one for a 20-piece flatware set is $270. Now I have a code in my description, which is about, I think you get 10% off with that. So you're looking at about 250 bucks for a 20-piece flatware set, but it'll probably be like the last flatware set you're ever gonna have, you know? The IKEA one, I think it's a luxury item. I think it is a beautiful item. I think it's the one that you're gonna have for years, but I don't think it's necessarily on the same level. However, $80. Can we just go back to the price point? Because that's really what this video is also about, right? Is the affordability of IKEA products. $80, $250. That's really the comparison that we're looking at. And for that, I think that the Tillagd is an amazing value. I would still say that there's a compromise there in terms of longevity, but $80 for a 20-piece set is a fantastic value and definitely one to consider. Okay, next up on my list is going to be the Ombonad. The Ombonad is a whole bunch of different items in this collection, but the one I want to talk about is the walnut veneered tray. I love this tray. Now it is made of birch that then has a walnut veneer on top. And I love that because I love that you're getting the effect of real walnut as opposed to just getting a walnut stain or a walnut effect or something like that, which is not going to be the same thing. So they are using real walnut here over top of the birch to create a tray that still has the warmth that you're gonna get from real walnut. So I love that because again, if you're dealing with a solid wood tray that is a solid piece of walnut, you're gonna be looking at a lot more money than $40, I can tell you that, right? It's gonna be a lot more expensive. And the real genius of this item, I think, is what they did is that they left exposed the birch that goes around the sort of outer ring of this tray. They left that exposed so you can actually see the combination of the walnut wood and the birch that lies kind of inside the tray, which I think is really cool because they were able to add a little bit of contrast there between the two wood tones, but they did it in a way that, you know, actually uses the walnut wood and birch, which is obviously used to save a little bit of money than doing a real walnut tray, but they were able to actually make it stylish while incorporating in those two different materials. So do you know what I mean? I think that's really genius to take something that you could see as a compromise in the materials, but actually do it in a way that is really stylish and really chic and cool. So I think this is a really solid pick and a genius design from IKEA. Okay, so next up, I've got the Solklint, which is this beautiful fluted glass lighting fixture. It comes in a gorgeous pendant, comes in a few different items in the collection. The one I've picked here that I think is really cool is the semi-flush mount. This is a $35 semi-flush mount lighting fixture, 35 bucks, amazing. This looks so chic. This definitely feels like a light that is a lot more expensive than $35 in my personal opinion. You're seeing fluted materials in general as a trend everywhere, and IKEA got it on the action with this gorgeous fluted glass. I think it's really, really cool. I love it in all the different varieties, but I picked the semi-flush mount because I think it is a really chic option that is going to be really applicable to a lot of people. I think a lot of people can put this in their home, and I think it's really beautiful, really chic and cool, and I love this one. Okay, and then the next one on my list is going to be the Tjabbig, I don't know. Anyway, okay, this one is a really, really cool unbleached cotton basket. So IKEA's got tons of baskets. I could have done another like 5 items on this list just talking about IKEA baskets because there's so many cool ones. But I picked this one because this one to me is quite new. I don't know if I've really seen this one around for a long time. I really love this one because it is unlike all the sort of typical rattan baskets that we've seen from IKEA for, you know, a long time. And there's so many different varieties. There's ones from seagrass. There's ones made of lots of different materials that are oh so cool. But this one is an unbleached cotton, and I think that's really different than what IKEA normally does. Natural material, again, which you know I love. These little small baskets here are going for $3.99 a piece, which are so cool, really will help you keep you organized, but really feel like a beautiful sort of chic basket that you can put in your home without kind of feeling like you're compromising on style, and they just like really scream IKEA. Well, this one doesn't really scream IKEA to me because you're dealing with the natural material. It's a woven basket. I think it's really, really cool. But again, it's different than the other woven baskets we've seen from IKEA, and I love that. So this is my personal pick for sort of a chic, cool, affordable IKEA luxury product. So, you know, as luxury as baskets can go for $4 a piece, I'm all in. Okay, so that's it for me for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm gonna throw here to my video of affordable IKEA products to look high-end. This is a video that I did, oh my gosh, probably coming up 2 years ago now or so. Really popular video. People really seem to like that one. It's got a few other picks in there that are really gorgeous IKEA products that are also affordable. So if you like this video, you'll love that one too. So I will see you all in that video and see you all in the next one. Thanks, bye.